Okay, so this is a video where I explain how I went from $70,000 to $500,000 investing into crypto. A lot of you have asked why I think that this coin called the trunk coin is an alternative to Bitcoin, and I'm going to explain that a little bit in our event today. I will tell you though that fundamentally throughout my life, I walked the path of what a very good author explains as the path to financial freedom. Yes, I'm talking about Robert Kiyosaki, and he essentially breaks it down where he says most people start out as employees, and for the most part, a lot of people remain employees, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is a path to financial independence that requires a few extra steps. Now, the first step for most of us is to transition from being an employee into someone who is self-employed so that you can do something that is very important, and that is be paid not based on the time you put into something, but based on the value you provide. So all of a sudden, an hour can be worth way more than whatever your employer pays you per hour. It can be worth what value you create in an hour. I, for example, create about $500 worth of value in most of my hours throughout the day. So it's very normal for me when I have a consultation that I charge that. The next step then is from going from self-employed to becoming a business owner, where now you are delegating and you are putting systems in place where other people and systems nowadays, AI a lot, software, do the work for you. It's the first step of letting money work for you, money that you invested in your business while you sleep, while you learn other skills, or while you pursue whatever you want to pursue. So we went from being an employee to being self-employed to being a business owner. Now, the final step, and that is something that truly catapults you into financial freedom, is being an investor. And that's essentially also how I turned $70,000 into $500,000 in less than a year, by investing into something that I understand and where I saw potential. Most people nowadays will still tell you, invest in stocks, invest in indexes, invest in real estate, and nothing is wrong with that. All of those are viable ways to invest your money. But if you are late to the game, I personally believe that right now, cryptocurrencies, and if we want to take it a step further, decentralized finance, are the best way to catch up. Now, we all know about Bitcoin, right? We all have heard about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a great form of investment, in my opinion. Just a few weeks ago, I've been in Nashville at the so far biggest conference about Bitcoin in the world. And let me just tell you, when presidential candidates attend an event, when senators attend an event and are speakers, it means that this asset class, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, is not going anywhere. If you are of a different opinion, that's fine. Then this talk is certainly not for you. You can probably spend your time wiser somewhere else. Now, when it comes to how you can increase your value by thousands of % in a very short term of time, you have to understand that you need to find something where you can jump into the investment when the price is still low and then rely on quick appreciation or steady appreciation and also sustainable appreciation. There was a time, believe it or not, when Bitcoin cost less than $1 per coin. That was a time where anyone who told you to get into, or anyone who said you should invest into Bitcoin was probably laughed at. They were told this is a scam, this is going nowhere, and so on and so forth. As we speak, Bitcoin is traded for $57,000 per coin. So you would imagine that anyone who looked at this Bitcoin and said, I'm going to invest in this when it was under $1 or maybe $10 or $100 or $1,000, can you imagine by how much they have grown their investment? It's absolutely insane. And by the way, I was one of the lucky people who was pretty early in Bitcoin. I jumped in when one Bitcoin was $2,000 and I bought 4 Bitcoin, 2,000 times 4. That tells you how much I invested, $16,000. And I'm sorry, $8,000. And when I didn't spend my Bitcoin until last year, can you believe it? I didn't spend my Bitcoin until last year. And how much do you think that Bitcoin was worth last year? I can tell you it was worth $240,000. Wow. I bought that Bitcoin, by the way, in 2016. So over the course of 7 years, I turned $8,000 into $240,000. Wow. Now, what did I do last year? Well, I discovered decentralized finance and I discovered this coin called Trunk that is now at a place where Bitcoin used to be when it was still affordable. And I understand cryptocurrencies enough where I said, okay, I'm going to sell large amounts of those 4 Bitcoin. And yes, I did pay Uncle Sam for the capital gains, but it was worth it because Trunk now was actually able to provide me coins at 11 cents. Okay. And then it climbed up within 10 months to $1.60. And then 2 weeks ago, we had a little bit of a crash because we were over leveraged in lending and it fell down to 16 cents again from $1.60 to 16 cents. And guess what I did? I observed it, I sold high, and I repurchased low. So now I have 800,000 trunk. There we go. And as we speak, one trunk is worth 58 cents. So within a 2-week period, trunk climbed from 16 cents to 60 cents. So if you want to make those fast increases, you have to find assets that appreciate fast, that are still in the cent range. If you were to take that money, a similar amount of money, and invest it in Bitcoin, which would be smart, by the way, definitely not as risky, and still Bitcoin has an annualized return of 55%. Okay, so if you want to do something smart with your money and you don't want to invest in an exotic coin, you can purchase Bitcoin and you have an expected annualized return based on historic figures of 55%. Now, how great is this? Okay, so let me tell you about this Trunk coin, because I think that right now there's an opportunity for some of you to generate generational wealth within a few weeks or months. Yes, you have to have a certain risk appetite to do it. This is crypto and decentralized finance is very highly volatile. It is not uncommon to see the value of your asset fluctuate by up to 40-50% in one day, and then you have to remain calm and not panic sell or anything like that. But what really matters is understanding that you have an opportunity to grow your value by 10x, 20x, 30x over the next 12 to 24 months. I am personally convinced about that. Now, know that I'm not a financial advisor, and you should only use money that you don't rely on to put food on your table, because you can lose everything in investing, okay? Let me explain what this trunk coin is about and how to buy it, and maybe I'll take some questions later. So trunk is a coin that is issued by a bank called Elephant Money. It is a decentralized bank, and that bank offers all kinds of financial products. It's just like your bank down the street. You have savings accounts, you have bonds, you have annuities, and so on and so forth. That bank offers crazy interest on your savings. Incredible. I'm going to tell you how much. You won't even believe me. On that savings account, I personally got 182% APR on my principal, okay? Compared to most banks that give you between 2 and 5%. All right, how that is possible is another life, okay? But people ask, so how is it possible? The bank, as any other bank, also in traditional finance, needs to invest your money and then make a lot of money with it, more money than it pays you out in your savings account. So it does many things, but part of what it does is it invests in this trunk token. So there is constant buying pressure on a token that is, and this is where it gets important, that is finite in how many tokens there can ever be around, number one. And that also has deep liquidity. So let's talk about that a little bit more. First of all, how many trunk token can ever be in circulation? 121 million. They have all been released. They're all floating around. And there can never, ever be more than 121 million tokens. That is very good, by the way, because it means that we have something like gold that is limited and finite in supply, compared to, by the way, our United States dollar, which is fiat currency, which is not limited in supply, because when the Fed decides that we need more money in circulation, they will just print more money. And that is called inflation. Okay. Now, that trunk token is used by the decentralized bank to invest because it is limited in supply and because there's constant buying pressure. The bank also uses it on the lending and borrowing side as collateral. So people who are interested in taking their trunk and leveraging it, they can go on in decentralized finance and say, I will borrow up to 20% of its value in USDC, which is a stable coin that is pegged to the United States dollar. So that is as much as I will go, because I lost some of you because I have started getting too technical. But know that the big difference between trunk and, for instance, a Doge coin or a Mr. Miggles or all of these coins that are meme coins, that their sole existence relies on social sentiment. By having this coin, you belong to a group of people who like a certain vibe, a certain train of thought. So they buy these meme coins, and when a lot of people buy something at the same time that is limited in quantity, then its value rises. So community around those meme coins is very, very important. So strong leaders at the helm of meme coins are very important. But what typically happens, as with anything that is a trend, is it dies off over time. So most meme coins, 1 or 2 years in, they have no value anymore because the hype is gone. There is another meme coin that can be bought. And don't get me wrong, if you understand the tokenomics, as we call it, of meme coins, you can make a lot of money. It's always about buying low and selling high. That is always true. Trunk, however, is different because it is a utility coin. It is not driven by social sentiment. It is driven by people understanding it is finite and it is tied to a decentralized bank that uses it as a treasury and as an investment. All right, you will tell me, you've told me enough about this Trunk coin. How can I try and buy some? That's a great question, because the great thing is you don't even have to invest a lot of money to see your money grow. Okay, you can buy 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 worth of Trunk. And I can tell you, if you hold on to it for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if your $50 all of a sudden is worth $60 or $70. So you experience that, and you experience a little bit the high and low on the way to that value. And maybe that will give you the conviction to say, I'm going to do what Shankar did. I'm going to put in a little bit more money. In my case, I told you, my average acquisition price of Trunk was between 11 and 16 cents. Right now it is at 60 cents. And that's how I can be like Shankar and turn $70,000 into $500,000. Okay? So, how do you buy Trunk? For those of you who have never bought any crypto, there's a few things to learn. On your phone, you can download what is called a wallet, a crypto wallet. And there's a lot of crypto wallets around that you can download. Now, this Trunk coin is issued on the blockchain called Solana. So not only is crypto maybe complicated for some of you to understand, now we also have different blockchains. Let's just think of a blockchain like an exchange, okay? So some of the stocks you can only buy at the New York Stock Exchange, and then if you want to buy German stocks, you need to go to the German Stock Exchange, and so on and so forth. So if you want to buy a coin on Solana, you need to have a wallet that is compatible with the Solana blockchain. And the wallet that is easiest to use is called Phantom. It's also one of the most popular and fastest growing apps on the app stores. So you go to your app store and you download the wallet called Phantom, and then you have your wallet. Now, what is very important to understand, in crypto, you do self-custody, meaning that money that you own is actually in your custody. It is, if in the case of the smartphone, it is literally on your smartphone, meaning if you lose the smartphone, the money is gone. Okay, which is why you have to keep that seed phrase very safe. In traditional finance, you never own your money. The bank owns your money, and unless you go to the ATM and pull out some paper cash, you never own your money. And trust me, banks sometimes, in extreme cases, cut off access to your money. Most notable case that caused a lot of uproar was when the Canadian truckers went and protested, and the Canadian government decided to just not have those truckers access their funds anymore. Crazy! Entire existences were destroyed. Some truckers couldn't pay their mortgage, their kids' schooling, of course, food on the table, and all of that. And this is one of the main drivers why people in crypto and decentralized finance exist. They want freedom from third parties. All right. So that was an anecdote. All right. So you have your Phantom wallet, and that Phantom operates de facto on the Solana blockchain. Now you need to connect there you'll see a little buy button there. You press that, and then you can use your credit card to make your first purchase of trunk. Okay, you search in the Phantom app for the coin trunk. By the way, if you want to try this, message me here, DM me here, because I have a step-by-step instructional video on YouTube that makes this a lot easier. You actually have a visualization of this. But you press buy, and then it wants you to connect a debit or credit card or a bank. And when you do that for the first time, what happens actually is that you need to give the payment processor your information about who you are. That is known in the financial industry as KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. These payment processors are required by law to have your information on file, so mainly to prevent money laundering and tax evasion, okay? So you upload, the good news is you only have to do that once. You upload your ID and your social security and all of that. And then once you're approved, you can purchase your first trunk, any amount, $10 worth of trunk, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever is comfortable to you. And then you hold on to it. You don't look at that wallet for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. And then you come back to me and you DM me and you say, Shenka, you were right. This is crazy by how much the value of my trunk has grown. And voila, you have overnight become an investor, and you enjoy an asset class that is on the forefront of technology that basically grows while you sleep 24/7. Yeah, so I am able to take a question or two if you want. Just raise your little emoji hand. You should have a button at the bottom that lets you raise your hand, and then I can bring you on stage and I can answer your question. Important, don't come on stage to tell me about something you think is important for me to know. I'm not interested right now. I want to answer questions, okay? If that is the case, raise your hand. Okay, so in the world of crypto and even stocks, there's two types of people who interact with that stuff. The first person is a trader, and the second person is an investor. And you got to find out who you are. A trader is someone who jumps in and out of the market multiple times throughout the day very quickly. Some traders, not maybe daily, but over the course of several days, they jump in and out. An investor is someone who sees an asset, understands it, knows that it will fluctuate and be volatile, and then just say, I'm going to buy now, and I'm going to sit on my hands and let weeks and months pass because I understand the economic cycle we are in. We're slowly building this up. And an investor has a plan. Now, I'm an investor, by the way. I'm not a trader. I know that this trunk token that is priced at 60 cents right now, in several years there's no reason why it won't be $5, $10, $20, $30, maybe even $100. And I will be a billionaire because of that. Because now I'm taking some risk because I understand this asset. So you have to know what kind of person you are. But being a trader, don't underestimate that. Traders who jump in and out of the market frequently and fast are highly skilled, highly trained in analyzing technical charts. They know how to combine the technical analysis with the current sentiment, with political events, with news. And most traders are not very good at doing it because it's difficult. It's very difficult. Unless you are someone who understands all of that and who thinks, hey, I'm going to be a great trader, you should have the mindset of an investor. And the best thing you can do in investing always is hold, long-term hold, and not look at your account or your wallet every single day, because as Sinead pointed out, your human emotions will make you do stupid things. You will sell or buy or whatever at inopportune moments. The reason why my 4 Bitcoin that I purchased for a total of $8,000 in 2016 grew to a time where it was worth $240,000 is because for 7 days, literally, I had my Bitcoin in a cold storage wallet, and I didn't touch it no matter what crazy moves it made up and down. So that's my answer.
Yeah, maybe next week you could do a training on the YouTube channel Money Monday on because you said you started with what, 60, so maybe we could do training on how to save your first 100 grand or 50 grand.
Yeah, I would love to. We'll talk about it in that video. Money attracts money. It's a law of attraction. So if you want to start now, just keep some cash around and be dedicated not to spend it. And then you'll see that your cash pile will start growing. That's what I started doing when I was 16. So I have a long history of liking to accumulate money. Fantastic. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll see you on Sinead's YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and look for Sinead Moray, and then you can subscribe there. And I also have my own YouTube channel. Make sure you follow both of us if you have not yet, and DM me so you can have that YouTube video where you can purchase your own fraction of trunk today. All right. Thank you, folks. Have a great rest of your day.